Pandemic is not only disrupting our livelihoods and relationships, but for many it is causing a disruption in our sleep. This morning we are learning about the causes and getting advice for a better night's rest. And for that we are joined by sleep expert and author of Reprogram Your Sleep, Tara Youngblood. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So did you sleep well last night? Because I got to tell you, I did not sleep well and neither did my kids.
Yeah, it's hitting a lot of us. The pandemic has not only affected, obviously, our health as a nation, but it has affected our mental state as well. So there's depression, there's grief, financial loss. There's a lot of things going on in our heads. Even our kids are struggling with this no social connection. They're used to being able to play, playgrounds used to be open.
Right. Right. So, okay, all these factors play in, and as you lay down there and you try to sleep and we're not able to do so, what are some things, what are some techniques that we can use to try to get a good night's rest?
Yeah, so we want to balance that stress and anxiety that builds up during the day. And some easy tips for that are to get outside. You get endorphins from getting outside, make a list, get things done. Take a lot of deep breaths. Every time you go to the restroom, staying at home, close that door and take a minute just to breathe. Lower that thermostat. Deep sleep works a lot better when you're cooler. So try to be cooler at night and manage those lights from electronics. All of those are stimulants for keeping us up at night.
We know sleep is important, but help us understand in this time of coronavirus how vital it is, because I think a lot of people assume because we're not out working, we're at home, that we're getting plenty of rest, but that may not be the case.
No, sleep affects every major health indicator from cardiovascular to immunity and mental health. It's really important to our cycle of restarting every day. And even though we're still tired with more sleep, a lot of that really has to do with that mental state that I talked about in the beginning, depression. We're grieving the loss of our society. Although I think it is going to come back, it's definitely very different. And that uncertainty is causing us to lose sleep. You know, deep sleep is what helps us feel rested in the morning, and stress definitely affects how much deep sleep we can get.
Oh, absolutely. It will keep you up at night. But I want to touch on something that you mentioned very briefly, because some people are getting more sleep than usual. And I remember as a teenager, it was way back when I got enough sleep, it seemed like the more sleep I got, the tireder I was throughout the day. I was just lethargic, it seemed. So is there a thing to getting too much sleep that can be problematic?
Yeah, a lot of us have had a whole lot of sleep debt. We haven't been sleeping well going into this. So there is some chronic exhaustion, but stress is still preventing you from getting good sleep. There's a difference between being in bed for 8 hours or 9 hours or even longer, but they're not still getting good quality sleep. So I would make sure that you're going to sleep at the right time for your bedtime, not binge watching too late, making sure you're being really careful with that stress and balancing it throughout the day to get good sleep.
I think I'm pretty tired. I think I used the word tireder. I don't even know if it's a real word. That shows you how tired I am. Thank you for joining us today. Hopefully these techniques will help me get more sleep as well as our audience members as well.